Alright crew, check out this absolute nightmare of a destination. I'm Abe, your cursed chef, still chasing that elusive taste. But my other senses, they're screaming right now. This place is a masterclass in desolation, a vast expanse of rust-colored plains under a perpetually leaden sky. Jagged obsidian spires pierce the air, their surfaces etched with ancient, guttural warnings I can almost hear humming. The wind here isn't just wind, it's a grinding, brittle rasp that carries the scent of dry metal and distant tectonic shifts. Legend whispers of a bitter-end melon hidden in these forgotten lands, a fruit said to grant true, dreamless peace. You can almost feel the weight of countless failures here. I see fragments of what were once advanced tools scattered like forgotten prayers. Every step kicks up a fine, flint-like dust that tastes of ozone on my tongue and burns my heightened nostrils. Even standing still, I sense the deep, discordant vibrations of this dying world beneath my boots. Do you guys feel that oppressive stillness? Or is it just my curse amplifying everything? All right, crew, the hunt for the bitter-end melon is officially underway. I'm navigating these treacherous plains where the ground shifts with a low guttural rumble. Jagged, crystalline formations jut from the earth, humming with a faint, brittle energy. The air carries a dry, static charge, smelling of scorched minerals and distant metallic decay. I'm using the subtle vibrations in the ground, feeling for a rhythmic pulse that might indicate life. My ears pick up faint, discordant chimes from what looks like a cluster of withered, sapless tendrils. These aren't the melon. I avoid a patch of viscous, dark fluid that smells of fermentation and warns of unstable ground. Suddenly, a cluster of what looked like promising round stones emits a piercing, high-pitched resonance as I approach. It makes my teeth ache and my vision blurs with pixelated static. A powerful false lead. The metallic tang in my mouth intensifies. Do you guys feel that sudden spike in static? Or am I just getting closer to something truly volatile? Alright crew, you won't believe what just happened out here in this desolate expanse. I've finally found it, nestled amongst these jagged obsidian shards. It's a fruit, guys, a perfect sphere of deep violet, almost absorbing the dim light. The air around it is thick with a cloying sweet scent, like overripe fruit mixed with something acrid and metallic. As I shift my weight, a subtle shadow falls across its surface, and the melon pulses. A slow, rhythmic thrum emanates from it, vibrating through the ground into my boots. My vision flickers, a brief pixelated static across the edges of my sight, mirroring the melon's defensive shift. It feels like the very air is becoming viscous around me, heavy with an unseen sap. This isn't just a plant, it's almost sentient, reacting to every minute change. The lore speaks of its volatile nature, its ability to reflect intent. My curse amplifies its defensive energy, making my heightened senses scream with a discordant chime. I can almost taste the bitter end on my tongue, a phantom flavor of absolute stillness. Every move is calculated. One wrong step, and this could turn truly explosive. Do you guys feel that intense, almost personal resonance from this thing? Or is it just me? All right, crew, watch closely, because this is where things get interesting. This bitter-end melon demands respect, so I'm approaching it with my finest harvesting blade. I extend my specialized culinary knife, honed to absolute zero sharpness, aiming for a clean separation. The air around the melon instantly thickens, a heavy sap scent filling my nostrils, cloying and alkaline. As the blade nears, the violet sphere doesn't yield. It pulses with violent, rhythmic energy. A piercing, guttural chime erupts, vibrating through the obsidian shards with discordant resonance. My vision flickers with non-Euclidean static, the rust planes warping into impossible angles. A sharp, brittle discharge arcs from the melon, shocking my hand through the handle, forcing me back. This isn't just a fruit, crew. It's a living, kinetic trap, defending itself with elemental force. Did you guys feel that sudden searing jolt? Or was that just my curse amplifying its warning? Alright, crew, that last jolt was a clear message. Brute force won't work here. This bitter-end melon isn't just a fruit, it's a kinetic partisan, pulsing with rhythmic energy. I'm observing the subtle, almost imperceptible lulls in its defensive field, a fleeting moment of stillness. The air around the melon still carries that heavy alkaline sap scent, but I'm focusing on the vibrations. I notice a faint, sonic resonance that precedes each brittle discharge arc. My new strategy is precision and timing, not power. I select a small, sharp obsidian shard, its surface etched with ancient warnings, and flick it towards the melon. A localized, searing flash erupts where the shard makes contact, a contained burst of elemental force. That brief reaction creates a microsecond window, a momentary disruption in its pulsing defense. I'll use that exact instant, moving with absolute zero speed, to sever the stem. My blade is ready, honed to perfection, waiting for the precise moment. As I prepare, the grinding, brittle rasp of the wind intensifies, carrying the scent of dry metal. The discordant vibrations beneath my boots become a deep, guttural hum, threatening to throw my balance. My vision flickers with non-Euclidean static, the rust planes warping into impossible angles. But I hold steady. Did you guys feel that oppressive stillness just before the arc? Or was it only my curse amplifying the tension? Alright, crew, that was it. The perfect window. My honed blade moved with absolute zero precision, severing the bitter-end melon stem in that microsecond lull. The moment it detached, a guttural hum erupted from the ground, vibrating through my boots like a tectonic shift. I quickly wrapped the pulsing fruit in thick, leathery leaves, securing it with tightly wound twine into a makeshift vessel. The melon throbbed with a rhythmic internal energy, emitting faint, brittle arcs that sizzled against the containment. The air around me grew heavy, thick with the scent of alkaline sap and ozone, burning my nostrils. The obsidian spires in the distance seemed to pixelate, their forms shifting with non-Euclidean static. Every small mistake here could be deadly. The entire rust-colored plain felt like it was holding its breath. Did you guys feel that intense, discordant resonance as I secured it, or was that just my curse amplifying the world's reaction? Alright, crew, securing the bitter-end melon was just the start. Now comes the delicate dance of stabilization. This pulsing fruit, still wrapped, fights against its containment with a rhythmic internal hum. I'm aligning my breath with the grinding wind, feeling the subtle, tectonic shifts beneath my boots. The air here is thick with the scent of dry metal and a sharp alkaline tang from the melon's brittle arcs. I press my palms gently against the leathery leaves, sensing the fruit's erratic vibrations like a discordant chime. Every minute adjustment to the twine, every shift in my stance must synchronize with the environment's natural resonance. The obsidian spires in the distance seem to shimmer, their forms almost pixelated against the leaden sky. My heightened hearing picks up the faint, guttural whispers carried on the static-laden breeze. This constant battle against the melon's internal struggle and the world's oppressive stillness is draining. The scent of ozone burns my nostrils, a constant reminder of the volatile energy I'm trying to tame. I can feel the exhaustion, but failure means a catastrophic release in this already brittle landscape. Did you guys notice how the entire plane seems to hold its breath with every move I make? All right, crew, the real test begins now. Preparing this volatile bitter-end melon, I fashioned a crude press from obsidian fragments, using a slow, grinding friction to generate the precise heat needed. The melon, still pulsing, resists every ounce of pressure, its brittle arcs crackling with internal energy. I'm listening to its discordant chime, feeling the erratic vibrations against the stone, trying to synchronize my movements. The air thickens with a sharp, alkaline tang, mingling with the dry metal scent of this desolate plain. Suddenly, a piercing shriek erupts from the fruit, and the ground beneath me lurches with a violent tectonic shift. Too much pressure, too fast. I immediately ease the press, feeling the static-laden breeze whip around me, carrying guttural whispers. The melon's internal struggle nearly caused a catastrophic rupture, a flash of pure energy. My heightened senses are screaming. The grinding wind and deep resonance of this dying world amplifying into a deafening roar. I push through the sonic assault, slowly applying pressure again, extracting a viscous, sweet sap. Did you guys feel that intense pressure wave? Or was that just my curse playing tricks? All right, crew, this is it. The moment we've been building towards. I bring the obsidian shard, slick with the bitter-end melon's viscous, sweet sap, to my lips. A pure, vibrant sweetness, like chlorophyll and fermentation, explodes across my tongue for a fleeting instant. Then, the curse retaliates with a vengeance I've never known. The leaden sky above me shatters into pixelated fragments, the grinding wind a piercing, discordant chime. My vision blurs, obsidian spires twisting into non-Euclidean shapes, their warnings guttural screams. A searing, alkaline burn erupts on my tongue, overriding the sweetness, a pure static shock. The ground beneath me pulses with a deep tectonic vibration, threatening to pull me into the brittle earth. My heightened senses scream, overloading, pushing me to the absolute edge. The world becomes a chaotic, abstract painting. Then, everything goes absolutely still. Did you guys feel that sudden, absolute silence? Or was that just for me? You guys won't believe the absolute stillness that followed that sensory overload. My ears now hum with a faint rhythmic chime, a constant echo of the chaos. The air carries a new, subtle scent, like ozone, mixed with ancient, dry earth and distant metallic tang. My vision feels sharper, almost painfully so, picking out every brittle detail on the obsidian spires. That Bitter-End Melon didn't just put me down. It recalibrated something deep within my cursed senses. The ground beneath me pulses with a low, constant vibration now, a new, unsettling baseline. I learned the true cost of pushing these boundaries, the absolute zero of sensory overload. This cursed existence demands more than just culinary skill. It demands relentless adaptation and vigilance. We're moving forward, but with a heavier understanding of the stakes, a new kind of weary confidence. I feel a strange, almost magnetic pull towards that shimmering, non-Euclidean horizon. It whispers of a new challenge, a place where the very ground might be alive with viscous tendrils. We must be ready for what comes next, knowing the price this world just exacted. Are you guys prepared to face a reality that bends and warps around us?